Hello there, it's me, Sari, here again, and today I thought I'd show you double ghosting technique, or perhaps double bleach technique. My attempt is to show you how I made this, and my intention was to use this droplet stamp. I believe this one is from Impression Obsession, and I was mimicking designs by Rin and her beautiful droplets that she makes to look into sort of a 3D effect. Of course, these aren't drops that are falling and everything, but I just wanted to give this a go. And this is sort of a start for me to make a sort of a mixed media tag or something. I could see myself going further with this, but for this tutorial I'll just be stopping here. So let's see, what did I do first? I took some sort of a carton and watercoloring paper. This one is from Canson, Montville, 200 grams. And then I'm going to take out my dilution sprays. And I like to go wild when it comes to color, so I'm very comfortable using orange and those a little bit darker colors. And the main thing you should think about is to actually fill the space with some color. You shouldn't be afraid of having a good body of color here. So let's see if I can then make this work somehow. I'm going to put something green down there, and I'm going to go for something blue. Whoopsie. You see, sometimes you just don't have any kind of control whatsoever when it comes to these sprays, because sometimes you get a perfect sort of round shape, whilst in other cases you get a half a moon or something. Mostly you spray your things around you. That's just something that has to go with the territory, I suppose. And I do like to put in a little bit more orange. And I'm not going to go down there with that. So I'm just going to dry this, and I'm sorry to say, but I have to take you through this step just to show you that I'll be working on this in 2 layers, because then I have the chance of actually adding on some color that will lay on top of the other color. And you may not think that's possible, but actually it is. And at the same time, I just wanted to show you how I make a sort of a runny effect just by shaking and tilting that paper. And you know, the thing is that when paper gets wet, it gets warped, so you need to let it dry by itself. It could take an hour or 2, or you could just speed things up with a heated craft tool or an embossing gun or something similar. You could also use a hair blower. Is that what it's called? So I'm just going to make those lines there and just hope for the best when I'm going to add on some more color here. And it doesn't have to be completely dry before you continue, but just to have the paper sort of flat, it will help you a little bit. So in this case I'm feeling like I do need something a little bit more reddish up there. So I think I'll just put in something red there and there. I also found out that depending on what color you have underneath, you could go wild and have some fun with some pink. Because pink, especially combined with blue, will actually turn purple, and it's a nice color. And just think about this being a really strong palette that we are going to lift off color from. So don't be afraid of adding color at this stage. I'm going to go for some fresh lime. And you know, I hate this. Bloody hell, I just feel like swearing, because I don't like this when these clog up and they don't work. I mean, I have too many of these that I've had to change and just buy some other bottles and just change the cap for these. I mean, this is poor. I don't like this at all. So bloody hell, I know that there is color from this. So what should I do? You know, hang on for a second. Here I come, here I come. So I buy these small bottles and I just swift. And let's see, was this the one that gave me a hard time? It can't be, because that one actually had a lid. It was this one. So I'm just going to switch it into this, and sometimes I luck out and have a green colour for that. And now I just have an empty bottle here because I can't use that one. So that one goes into a box that I call error. I mean just faulty really. And let's see if this one works. Well, it does actually. I just wanted something else going on here. And I'm thinking that perhaps I could dare to put in something blue there. But since I can't control this, I might get a little bit go overboard. So let's see. I mean, as it is now, there are some random spots. It's a nice look, of course. It wasn't really what I was aiming for, but it's what it is. Let's make a little runny accidents here. They could be nice looking. I do like that effect actually. And you know, the dilution sprays are really strong inks, but they are water-based, as you will see in a second or two. So your hands will get clean, at least somewhat clean. And if they don't, well, perhaps you could be proud to show that you are a crafty person and not feel ashamed of having dirty fingers, so to speak. So this is it. So you can imagine the next step I'm going to do with this. I'll just stop here and move this aside. That was finished for help because I was almost falling on something there. So let's see. Let's go back to this because I just realized that I did make these. I made 2 of each just to show you that I could have some fun with this at the same time while I'm working. So in this case I prepared something. It isn't as visible as on this, but I've used the same stencils and everything. So let's see if I can make something similar to this. So I'm using Dot Fade, a stencil from Tim Holtz. And since this one is wider than the tag, you know what, I just think I'll just have to settle for this anyway. I'll just put it there. So I'm going to work with 2 different stencils, one with the small dots up here, and then I'll change it into another bubble stencil, also from Tim Holtz. And I like to sort of keep it down a little and just take a little bit of water, spray it there, keep it there for a second or 2, lift it off, and just take a paper roll and roll it away. And you can see, just look at that. I love this effect. So it's a really nice effect on orange and yellows and red. I mean, I love that. So the next step will be to go with this, and I'm going to be putting it a little bit up there so I won't get a sort of a gap in between these places. And just randomly I'm spraying this water, lifting it up and taking my paper roll again. And this is a technique that Diane Reveley, the creator of those dilution sprays, calls ghosting technique. I myself call it a bleach technique because for me it is like bleaching, because you are just taking away color from something else. So this was step 1. So the next step could be that letting this dry by itself, I'll be moving on to this. It does have the same effect there, but now instead of just drying that one as well, I'll just go ahead and stamp these images. And I'm using VersaFine ink. And I'm just placing these droplets here and there. And just to have something easy going for me, I'll just keep those there. And I might actually try to place these here and there, perhaps a little bit over the parts that have been bleached or ghosted. And I just like these droplets, and for now I haven't got my hands on those beautiful droplets and dripping stamps from Designs by Rin, but I'll hope this one will make it work for me. So now I need to think about drying this, because VersaFine ink is an ink that takes a little longer to dry. And I don't want any mishaps, and I especially don't want to smear and smudge the ink, because my hands will definitely go in there and create boo-boos or whatever I could call them. I was watching Bones yesterday and they reminded me of that saying, a boo-boo, I made a boo-boo. So, see, I just take in whatever I can and use it wherever I can. So this is it, and I believe this one could be alright. So I'm going to take a water container brush and I'll have a little bit of paper here, and I just wanted to show you this. Look at this. Had I now had a regular piece of paper and lifted off that thing that I was ghosting off, I could have gotten this beautiful effect on a piece of paper. So just remember to use the negative space also from those stencils, because it's rather fantastic looking, I think. So I'm just going to take a little bit of paper just to have it here and there when I'm going to blot things off. And just to be on the safe side, I'm just going to see that I'm just having some water here, because I don't want to transfer this color to that color and everything. Even though I'm sure I will be able to pick up a little bit of that color, I just want to be sure that I'll be able to get a sort of a nice effect still. So I'm just going to go through this series of bubbles or droplets here, lift it up, and I might have to do this several times, and I'm just going to go to another a place where I have other colors going on, and as you can see there is some residue color from something else, but I still hope I'll be able to show you the difference. And let's see, I've gone to the yellow green. I could go for the green as well, just to show you how much ink you can lift off just by using this. So now I've taken water off once on all those three places, and you can see the difference. This is once, and I think I've been twice on these, so they will get better. So let's go here again, and I don't want to go here too quickly, because there is a risk that the paper will sort of get rugged. I mean, even though it is watercoloring paper, I might still have to struggle with paper just sort of being eaten up by the water, and I don't want that. I don't want some kind of a rugged surface now, do I? So just lift it up. So imagine if I had those really proper droplets, it could be nice. And what I'm thinking is that I'm actually thinking of putting some glossy accents or something on these circles or droplets, just to enhance them a little bit and give them that 3D effect. So now I've gone through these twice. Let's see what will happen if I go a third time. Will it make a difference? Just take off that color. So that's all there is to it, really. You can see that it's getting lighter and lighter. And what you could do also, before you do put on your the glossy accents, you could put on something from a white pen just to enhance the effect. I'm going to go to this one because this is a dry surface. So if I'm going to draw a white little dot on each one, that will sort of enhance and give this the well-deserved focus, or a focus point or something. Just look at that, there's a difference. So if I have a white dot or if I haven't, that sort of makes the world of difference, really. And what I could do also, I could just draw a sort of a stitched line around the tag if I wanted to, just to give some more details to this. You know, sometimes it's hard to do things at the same time as you're talking, even though I'm a woman. I mean, women are supposed to be able to do that, but at this time, you know, I'm struggling since I'm speaking in another, in not my mother tongue, of course, but still trying to make it work, aren't I? I really do like the white detail here, I must say. So if I wanted to, I could stop here. I think it was rather nice looking. And it's fun to experiment and see how the droplets work on different backgrounds. So this is something you could try out. I mean, you could try with other kinds of circles or stars even, or hearts or something. Just have fun with this technique. So double ghosting or double bleach. That's my version of it anyway. Hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.